My name is Simon, and I'm 14, and today we're going to be talking about Genesis 42. So in Genesis 42, we see that there's a famine in all the land and around Canaan. So Jacob, he tells his 10 oldest sons, he tells them to go down to Egypt to get some grain so that their family doesn't starve. So the brothers, they listen to their father, and they go down to Egypt, and they come before the governor of the land. And they don't know the governor of the land is Joseph, their brother who they sold into slavery, but Joseph knows it's them. So Joseph remembers his dreams, and he decides that he's going to test their character, and he's going to see if they've changed any. So he decides that he's going to accuse them of being spies, and he's going to make sure that they bring back Benjamin to prove that they're not spies, but also to prove that they're being nice to Benjamin. He's trying to see if they're acting the same way to Benjamin that they acted to him. So he puts him in jail for 3 days because they say that, after he accuses them, they're like, no, we're all brothers, we have a little brother. He's like, prove it to me. So he puts him in jail for 3 days. And after 3 days, he gets him out of jail, and he's like, I'm a God-fearing man, and I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but I'm still going to keep one of you here. I'm going to let 9 of you go back and get Benjamin, but I'm going to keep one of you guys here. So the 9 brothers, they leave to go back to their brother Benjamin. But on the way, they stop for a rest, and they look at their bags of grain, and they see that the money that they paid got given back to them. So then they're a little bit queasy and a little bit like, what's happening here? This is kind of weird. They think maybe God is cursing them. So then they arrive back home, and they come before their father. They come to their father Jacob, and they tell him about all that happened. And he's like, so you took Joseph, you took Simeon, and now you want to take Benjamin? Like, he's like, I'm not gonna have any sons left if you keep taking away all my sons. So he says that he will not let Benjamin go back. And then they persist some more, and they try to do some more things and try to make some more deals, but he's still like, no, I'm not going to do it. So that's the end of Genesis 42. So that's a kind of weird way to end a chapter. If you just read that whole chapter, you don't really get the whole story, because before this we see all the stuff about before in Joseph's life and getting sold into slavery. But after Genesis 42, we see that if you keep going, you see that they do go back to Egypt with Benjamin, and they come before Joseph again, and then Joseph reveals to them that he's Joseph, and they reconcile, and they have a feast and a party, and Joseph forgives them. That's the main theme of this, is that Joseph, he could have been hateful, he could have let bitterness eat him up inside, he could have killed them. When he saw them, he's like, oh, those are my brothers. He could have just killed them. He knew what they did to him. But instead, he decided to forgive them. And forgiveness is really powerful. Forgiveness can change lives. He could have let bitterness eat him up inside, but instead, he decided to forgive. So I pray that we would be more forgiving people like Joseph. So that's the end of the story. So now I'm going to pray. Jesus, I just thank you for your word. And I thank you that we can study it. And Jesus, I pray about all the things happening in the U.S. And I pray for George Floyd, and I pray for his family. And I pray that the officers who killed him, that they would get what they deserve. And I thank you that even in times with the U.S., a bunch of riots happening, you're still in control, even when it doesn't seem like you are. And I pray that people would just calm down a little bit, maybe, and I pray that we would just read your word more and grow closer to you. And I thank you so much that we can, live, and that you give us life and you give us breath. And I pray that the breath that you give us, that we would use it to glorify you. And in Jesus' name, amen.